Music.
Right.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Where are we? Hi. Welcome to another great TFP live stream.
It's Thursday already?
Yes, man. The week just flies. The week just flies.
Are you feeling better, Pat?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Just making sure.
Nice. We are giving away something tonight. We haven't given away a gun since Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? It's well into the new year,
shame.
boys. We gotta up that. So I want to get into a habit of giving away more guns. I'm feeling very generous in 2023.
We like arming
very generous.
people. It's
it's
a good cause.
I do enjoy it. I've seen a lot of dudes like standing by the side of the roads in pickup trucks, like out in the woods. I think it's some kind of hunting season right now for some kind of bird. I don't know, turkeys maybe. So we had this on the shelf, and I was like, why not? This is a Savage 301 12 gauge with an extra full choke, and it's set up if you wanted to put a little like red dot on there or something like that. This could be...
It's got a manual safety on there too.
It does, which is like a nice like hammer blocking, like physical safety, very well made. Cool gun. We've got one for sale in the shop. We had two of these. We have one for sale still. $189. $189. You could be slaying turkeys. This could be a nice maybe backup gun or something you know.
Something for the kid maybe.
Something for the kid. That's what I was just going to say. Yeah. So we're giving this away. Find out. Stay tuned. You can find out how to win this later on in the stream. We've got sponsors. Do we want to talk about our sponsors?
Yeah, let's talk about some business.
Naturally.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like, for instance, like, you're going to win this great gun. Wouldn't it be great if you could preserve that firearm?
That would be nice.
That would be really nice.
How would you preserve this gun?
Do you want a beer, first of all?
Just, you know what, at this point...
Okay, you got water. You're touching guns.
I'm a hydro homie.
You are a hydro.
If you really wanted to preserve your guns, I personally would use Arms Preservation Inc. They are great guys, and typically you're doing the plugs, Pat, but I guess I'll do it today.
No problem.
So they have, as Mitch always says, they have the micro environment in there that they patented it, right? It's patented?
Let's go with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Of course.
We'll defend
it. I preserve all of my
Catches
antique
hands.
and valuable firearms in there, and I put my ammunition in the cans.
Or like this turkey gun would be a great. Like, you're gonna get this thing wet. You're gonna get it covered in moisture. Like,
might as well oil it up, throw it in the bag in the safe until next season. I'm talking about it. I'm gonna drop a link to their stuff. So
nice.
So yeah, when you're right, Ty. Absolutely. If you go ahead and make sure this thing is nice and dry, and before you put it into your micro environment, that vapor corrosion inhibitor will do a fantastic job of preventing any...
And not that this gun is heavy per se, but like, what if I'm not used to lugging a firearm around? What if I'm like what if my physical nature is a little weak, Pat? Do you have a recommendation?
Yeah,
I would build myself up physically.
Stronger.
Where would you get stronger though? Like,
if I was trying to get stronger, I would go to Beyond Driven Fitness and Performance in Leroy on Main Street.
Nice. Nice.
Definitely, I've said it a million times, but I really do believe it. Best gym in Genesee County for all of your fitness needs. If you want to go to a spin class, they got you covered. They have cardio boxing. They have stuff for the kids. They have the Bedrock program, which I believe starts in either 4th or 5th grade for the youngsters. Cool. Yeah, so they have
get them started right.
100%. Get them thinking about leading a healthy lifestyle from a young age. Get them excited about fitness.
Smart.
Yeah, absolutely. Gets them off the couch. Gets them engaged with their friends, and a lot of healthy activities. So
that's awesome.
So 24/7 access over there. They have you covered for whatever whatever you need. I think they've got it. So.
So thank you to our two, dare I say, beautiful sponsors. We love you both, and we have. I'm going to roll right into. We have an event coming up in June 10th and 11th.
I'm so excited, bro.
Freedom Weekend is a
pumped.
weekend. It's a weekend again. For the past couple of years, it hasn't been a weekend.
I'm so hyped.
It's kind of just been Freedom Day, but yeah, we're doing Freedom Weekend again. For those of you just tuning in, we're giving away this shotgun on this stream, so stay tuned on how you could win that tonight. Obviously, you're going to have to pass a background check, blah, 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 the regular stuff, but at no cost to you, you might walk away from the stream tonight with this nice Savage 301. Freedom Weekend, though, June 10th and 11th, Holy cow. We have got more done at this stage, I feel like, than we would have done in like May.
I have been losing sleep.
You
over
have
this.
been crushing it with Freedom Weekend this year. We have already got some amazing sponsors lined up, which I think we should shout out immediately because we already know at least one of them, Rochester Precision Optics,
Yeah.
which they are one of those companies, like, there's a lot of companies that you'll drive past them and maybe you'll see the sign, or like if you don't go to that side of town or in that neighborhood, there are tens, if not hundreds, of little companies in Rochester that just amaze me with their innovation and like what they do. And RPO is one of them. I mean, they have stuff in like NASA programs.
Yeah.
They have stuff that the military uses. They have stuff, if you are any kind of high end, I mean, it's in the name, precision optics, they're the people. They're a sponsor of Freedom Weekend this year. I'm so happy about that. A little birdie told me some other amazing groups are likely going to be sponsors. I don't know if that's too early to announce that, but
maybe this one company you've heard of called Arms Preservation Inc.
Oh, man.
One of our sponsors that we just were mentioning before, but also the New York Tactical Games Skirmish. I hear they're going to be sponsoring. Speaking of,
it's so cool.
I know, so excited to be part of that. And not only that, but the skirmishes are coming back, guys, and we have one in March, we have one in April, we
Nice.
have an event in May, June,
Nice.
July. Every month up until November, we have skirmishes.
That's
I believe
awesome.
we're going to do 9 all day this year. So, yeah, very excited to be doing those. They've actually changed the format a little bit on the skirmishes. It's definitely going to be much more of a learning type of environment
That's
now,
awesome.
combined with a competition type of environment, which, yeah, I think it's really exciting to get more people into the TTG proper.
Sure.
And hopefully we'll, be able to really get people, what's the word I'm looking for? Integrated into action shooting
Sure.
or two-gun competitions or whatever, however you kind of...
There's not a lot of opportunities to like throw, a lot of us are working towards a goal. We have a certain like image of like what maybe being ready is or whatever you want to say, and this is a good opportunity to test that kind of stuff.
I think so.
So they're going to be there June 10th and 11th for Freedom Weekend.
Yeah.
And we are putting it out there. We've put it out there last week, but we're putting it out there again. We're looking for vendors. So vendors,
Please.
there is no charge just to set up at Freedom Weekend. We've never charged for that, and I'd like to continue that. If you are a crafter, a maker, you have a group, you have a business, anything. I don't care what it is. If you just want to set up a tent with your dog and give out hugs, like, come down, right?
Email me.
That wasn't specific to you guys at all. That's just
I was going to talk to you about that. If you guys wanted to do one,
I'll run it by the boss. I don't know. She's not watching right now. She's actually working. I don't know if you guys know this. Time for Walkies is like taking over the world right now.
Yeah,
awesome.
I see you guys on social and I love it.
Dude, she has so many clients out in Buffalo, you wouldn't believe it.
So yeah, vendors, any kind of small business, any kind of organization, nonprofit, whatever you got, hit us up. Ty's gonna drop some links right in the chat, maybe
For
to who to hit up, maybe your email, right?
I'm getting a lot of engagement, so
I love it.
I'm just
love
trying to
engagement.
document questions
And we do have some sponsorship opportunities available left too.
the more sponsors we get, the better we can make it.
Yeah, we have some crazy plans. I'm gonna announce one right now. Have you ever seen a dunk tank? Do you know what a dunk tank is, right?
I'm familiar with the concept
right?
of dunk tanks, yes.
So I don't want to spoil. What should we give away? What's gonna who's gonna be in the dunk tank, or how we're gonna activate the dunk tank?
Let's save activation for the dunk tank a few weeks before.
Okay.
They can't tell us we can't have a dunk tank.
Yeah, we don't want the dunk tank company to watch. We're definitely not going to use the can cannon, but
Yeah.
Would never do that.
yeah. We're probably going to have like your favorite personalities here at the pin. Have like maybe like little designated time slots, So like if you want to dunk Pat, $5.
I'll be out there.
$5 an opportunity maybe, and this will be a fundraiser we're going to do for FPC. Firearms Policy Coalition, so we can raise some money.
Definitely give the money to the lawsuits.
So that'll be super cool. We have got a lot of things in the works. We've been talking. We sent Ty and Josiah out to SHOT Show, and they rubbed a lot of elbows. They made a lot of connections. We're hoping to have a lot of factory and industry reps here. We've been talking to, I know, Bill Stapinski. So we're hoping to have some really cool opportunities for everybody here. And there's still potential for a machine. There's not potential for. There's going to be a machine gun shoot here.
I'll drink to that. Social.
We have gotten clarification. I didn't know. I don't think I told you. We got clarification. That was all a misunderstanding. About
Really?
why we couldn't. Yeah. It's all.
You never told me this.
That's all been ironed out. Yeah. That's all been ironed out. Not necessarily between our other friend.
Yeah.
But
We'll talk to him.
Yeah. As far
Yes.
as shooting machine guns here, though, no issue.
We were scared for a
No
minute.
issue. There's a little miscommunication.
We were gonna have to pull the
Because it is one of those things, like NFA items aren't legal in New York for the normal citizen. So like,
Sure.
it's just a weird thing. But like, we're manufacturers, so there's like different rules, and it's just it is what it is. And like, someone's gonna be there with them, and whatever. But
Right. No, that's
moral of the story: if you like guns, freedom, music, food, all of the above,
and dreamy men. I mean,
come and hang out.
come down.
with us.
Freedom Weekend. Put it on your calendars now. June 10th and 11th. This is also the first year we're going to intentionally stay open like all the way until 10 o'clock at night.
Oh.
I'm going to have to take a little day nap, I think, in the middle of the
Right.
day. I can't make it to that late. But we do this coincidingly with Park Fest, which is Bergen's little like town, summer park festival, right?
they do, like, some
and
fireworks the
they
other
do a hell of a fireworks show.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, the firing pin is the perfect spot to watch them from.
Oh, yeah.
And the year we opened
Great
the pin, it was just a random night of the week. We were like closing up that Saturday night, and like, okay, last customer left. You walk out, you expect there to be 2 cars, you and the guy you're working with. And I walked out there, and there was like 40 cars. And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, what is going on out here?"
Why
And
are
everyone was just like, "Yeah, we have a cool spot to park now, and like, this is the perfect spot to watch the fireworks from," because they launched them from the park, which you can
right.
see from the pin. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have like a bonfire. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some entertainment in the form of music. I'm not talking about Tyler taking his clothes off yet. I mean, maybe
somebody's into
if
that.
Freedom
somewhere.
Weekend goes like the way he wants it to go, I think that could be possible. But should we get to engagement? We've been yapping for a while.
Yeah,
we have
we
stuff.
wanna-
I know you've been.
Yeah, sorry.
Typing over there,
Thankfully, we have Josiah, back there on the switchboard and helping me with questions. I love you, Joe. Thank you. So I guess we'll go. Well, first of all, do you want to get really going to work, Joe? Do you want to start that up? What we talked about, how we're going to do the winning, because you're about to get blasted. So.
Let's do some questions.
Okay, let's do questions first.
The new guy's not ready to get blasted yet.
We'll get
The new guy's not ready to
Phrasing.
get blasted.
We'll get into how to win the gun very shortly.
Wait, we're giving away a gun on the live stream tonight?
Yeah, tonight,
Live?
right now.
Keep tuning in to learn more. It's like a radio show.
Brian asks. He said he's digging the new audio. Or the
not
new
what he
logo.
says. That's not
Sorry,
what he
audio.
That's
I
not
was
what he
looking at the
says.
audio meter. Digging the new logo. I love our new logo.
I do too.
I want to
very
go into
cool.
that a little
The
bit.
one where the Eagles taking the guns from people, right?
Yeah.
Do we even have the new logo out anywhere?
No, I mean
Just go on Facebook. It's
it's
there.
everywhere.
Yeah,
everywhere
it's
it
there.
needs to be. Actually,
Me and this handsome young man, years and years and years ago, devised. Oh, look at that! You want to go on the close-up cam over here?
Let's do it.
Me and Ty, ages ago, literally like 2014, right? If not,
Yeah.
it had to have been 2014. We sat down one day and we were like, all right, you have your logo that's like, that says like the name of your place, like the firing pin, kind of like a letterhead almost, right? But it was like, you need something like, I don't know, like a logo, like a symbol type of logo.
back when you had like 5 customers, so we were able to sit in the back and work on
just
stuff like
goof
this.
around, yeah, and this kind of stuff. And I don't know, we were playing around with stuff like what do we stand for? Freedom, delivering these firearms to people. Delivering freedom, and we landed, bad pun, on the eagle with the hands. Clearly, the eagle is delivering the gun to them, not taking
Right.
it away. And yeah, that's been
Yeah.
our logo, like untouched for almost 10 years, like a solid 8.5 to 9 years. And we've just been trying to, freshen things up here with Phil. We've got a great,
Phil Casper photography.
great illustrator, great
He's our guy. I love him.
drawist.
Our illustrator. designer.
Dude who draws.
And
He does a lot of stuff.
He does a lot of
Realistically, like, I
stuff.
don't even know what I would call him, Phil, because he does a lot of different.
I love Phil. He's one
a
of my favorite
creative
people.
dude, man.
I'm happy we
Triple
have him
threat.
doing my wedding pictures because he's
Yeah.
just so good at all of that stuff.
Yeah, he's a great photographer for sure.
A lot of people are asking about stickers. Those are to come.
Yep, we're working on that.
There's going to be a lot of stuff. You're probably going to get sick of seeing our logos and stuff.
So one of the challenges that I've given Phil is basically to design like a new logo. Maybe not every month, but that was the intent. But yeah, I want, like our logo done in multiple, different styles. So we've got the main one. This is kind of our base, our foundational one. And he sent me a really cool, like, Sailor Jerry, that, like, old school, like, World War II, like, tattoo, right, type of artwork. Or, almost...
Love that art style.
Nose of a plane artwork, right, type of stuff. He did, like, a version like that. So that'll be really cool. He's working on a very cool... I don't want to give away too much.
Yeah, don't give it away.
Yeah, he's working on some really cool designs, we'll just say.
We give the people all the information.
What else we got?
We've got lots.
Thank you, Brian. He said he liked the logo.
Oh,
Love
I know.
that.
I know. You kind of don't want to talk about this too much because we don't have enough episodes up there yet. But we're on Spotify. I've been
is
working
awesome.
so hard on this.
Yeah.
Like, this has been my week.
You sit there and you watch that computer so well, do all the work.
rendering videos, uploading it to Spotify,
Computer
fixing all of our
literally, like-
audio issues that we used to have. Like, I had to make that better. So Spotify, we're on Apple Podcast. Any other podcast services that you guys like, drop in the comments so I can maybe get us up on there.
LimeWire.
Don't even get me started. So
Napster.
I'm gonna drop our Spotify link because that's important. The cool thing about Spotify is we can kind of get advertisements on Spotify as well. So if we get enough viewers, the shop kind of makes money from this, and then we can get even better equipment, make it even better, and continue to grow.
What? We could make better
and
content?
My misconception, or like I use Spotify pretty much only for audio stuff, as probably a lot of people do. I didn't realize though, like, no, it's the full visual.
It's video,
live
yeah,
stream.
yeah.
It's
Can
not
be.
just the audio.
So funny enough, I was actually just listening to a JRE episode,
Yeah.
and he was talking about how there aren't that many video podcasts on Spotify. So if we do the
We already are.
on
podcast
there.
with
Yeah.
video,
Yeah.
then we'll be
Standing
like
out a little
one of
bit.
few. Yeah.
It starts off from November, so the audio. For those of you that have stuck with us for years, you know that like our video was compressed by Facebook, and we fixed all of those issues. I mean, look how crisp we are now. Our audio wasn't that great back then. Look how great we are now. We've already done a lot of growing, so I'm not quite to the point where like we're doing amazing on the podcast yet. So you get to see a little bit of our, our
Progression.
Yeah. The next video or two, we're gonna be like just full out, this, and I'm excited for that.
I think it's so cool that we have
I'm
people who
sorry.
have been like watching us do this for
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they enjoy it a lot, and we really appreciate it as well. 'cause
We had a guy in
do
here
too.
yesterday, Don John,
Yeah.
busting our balls, like
Yeah.
old Italian guy coming in here. He had the gold chain with the cross, and he's like, "I watch your live stream. Like, I love you guys." And he's
That's
like,
awesome.
"I don't use my real name on there."
Yeah.
Don John, you'll see me. We're like, "All right, buddy. Yeah, fuck
Cool,
yeah,
man.
It feels good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah."
I have one more little plug. We're on Instagram. We've been on Instagram. We've slacked on Instagram for a long time.
Yeah.
But I have kind of taken over, and I am just unhinged on there. I make the wildest content. It's the videos like the other day I just posted a picture of a gun and meat sticks with music, and like I laughed so hard making that.
We're gonna need.
Who doesn't like meat sticks?
Who doesn't like meat sticks and guns?
We're gonna need to get that password.
Yeah, right.
We need to lock that down.
If you need any help, Ty, let me know. I'll help you out with some stuff, man.
My goal is to hit. This is going to be a reach. My goal is to hit 8,000 followers. We're at 7,296 or something.
Oh, we could do that.
I want to hit 8,000 by Freedom Weekend.
All right.
If we can hit 8,000 by Freedom Weekend, we haven't really talked too much about this, but I want to give away like
Yes.
an expensive firearm.
Well,
Like I want to give away something high.
Let's come up with a plan.
So I'm letting you guys know ahead of time. We just want to hit 8,000 before Freedom Weekend. So
We can do it.
other than that, I'm good on my shameless plugs for the pin. Anything else, guys?
Yeah. If you're just joining us, we're giving away a shotgun, a cool Savage 12 gauge turkey gun. And if you haven't heard us talk about it 3 or 4 times already, Freedom Weekend is June 10th and 11th. I can't wait. Let's hit some more of those questions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. It looked like we had a bunch.
I love our people. We're getting. I'm trying to love your comment, Jennifer.
Oh,
but the
Dan,
comments.
Dan, I'm sorry. This is not a children's show, though.
It's not.
It should be a family show, though, shouldn't it be?
I mean,
I'm
First
sorry.
Amendment, freedom of
I cussed.
cursing.
I made a cuss.
Yeah, you can't be.
So, Mary Ann, not my beautiful grandmother.
Oh, I was gonna say. I know her.
Not Jamma. She asks, what goes on at Freedom Weekend?
So that is what doesn't go on it.
Right? That's a better question.
No, great question. That is our customer appreciation day, open house, all rolled into one. We have, like I said, manufacturers reps that'll come out. Just Right Carbine has been coming out with us since the very beginning.
Yep.
EOTech, Browning, Winchester, a lot of these companies, huge companies that you would not think would come to a small event here in Bergen, but we have great relationships with them because you have great relationships with us. We bring these guys out, and we're hoping to just keep increasing that. So we'll have sales in-house. Obviously, we do a lot of sales and discounts and stuff. I'm sure maybe we'll do like a membership drive.
Yeah.
Ooh, we should do that this year.
Historically, there's been like 50-50 raffles and
Yeah.
giveaways
Yep.
and various things like that.
We're gonna have a bunch of machine guns specifically this year,
did
and
a tactical
the
game
staff.
skirmish at
Yes,
one.
we've done
Yeah,
the
that
tactical
was
game
amazing.
skirmish. We have a ton of vendors, which is always a blast. And like I said earlier, we're very open to almost any kind of business. I really can't think of one. The only thing I would say is if we had like multiple people selling like Tupperware or like Scentsy candles or like,
Wood or
like,
laser
yeah.
cutting metal.
Right. And as long as you're okay with being kind of saturated, like
Yeah.
we don't necessarily mind. But yeah,
So-
obviously our market skews towards the outdoors, gun owner, that kind of stuff. But
But if you make jewelry, I'm sure some
Yeah.
dude's wife who doesn't really want to come would love to see your jewelry. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yep.
I want content for everybody. Like
There
Right.
was a we
we're going to
had
exclude
a,
pretty much. I can't think of anyone we're going to exclude.
we had a customer that would come in and buy brass.
Or if you're mean, then no.
And she would make jewelry for
Yes,
No, that's
that's cool.
Yeah,
right? Like
super cool.
So
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen. She actually came with her husband a couple of times, and I don't think that
No, okay, keep on.
I don't think we've seen them in a while. At least I have not. But it would be cool. If
We get
they
some
were-
cool like Watson saucery. We get some cool
Sure.
like, food vendors that are very unique. There's usually a honey vendor that'll
Who
come.
makes the knives? What's the?
We've gone through a few different ones.
There was a knife vendor that was here a couple
Yeah,
of times.
we've had knife vendors that have like won Forge and Fire and stuff
Yeah,
like that that
yeah,
have been
yeah.
here. We had a guy, unfortunately, I don't think he does it anymore or doesn't travel with it. He actually set up a forge here. He was like making knives on site. That was pretty cool.
He's not around anymore. I
know.
cannot get a hold of him on email. His website doesn't work. His Instagram is dead. I want him back. It was like
Yeah.
Westwork.
Wes Works.
And
yeah. Hit us up if you're out there.
If you're
bro.
out there, if you're watching, if you know this guy, please tell him to get in contact with me.
Yeah.
And if we can't get a hold of him, if you know somebody that has a mobile forge, that is my goal. Like, I just want a mobile forge here so badly.
That would be really neat.
Yeah. That was fun. That
And
was
when is
fun.
it this year? Again.
June 10th and 11th. And I'm going to release something else. I'm going to drop a little another little hint. We're doing more for the kids this year. We're going to have at least one bounce house for the kids because that is something we've always been slacking on. Is something for the younger kids just to keep them, keep them entertained, have some fun with it.
Sure.
Because it is a family event. A lot of people bring their entire families out. So not only are we going to have that dunk tank, which will be for all ages, obviously too. That'll be a lot of fun. We're going to have a bounce house. So. Yep.
Sweet.
We've been talking. We're gonna most likely, I'm sure, park next door at the Pavilion Gift Company.
Sure, yeah.
And we've actually been talking with a guy who owns a limo and bus, company about running a shuttle. For our, older folks, we'll say. Or,
Yeah.
We'll have
it gets
some-
tough.
spots up front for those maybe that are, in a wheelchair or whatever.
Yeah,
but-
the parking situation around here can get pretty difficult.
Yeah, we've talked to the sheriff's department. We have pretty much everything in place. I think this year too, we're just going to bite the bullet and hire a sheriff's deputy, like for the event,
Right.
to be out basically at the road just for safety, right? Just have him sitting out there all day with his lights on,
Just
and that'll
getting-
slow
yeah.
people down. Yeah, because that's like my biggest fear. I always know the event's going to go well, but I'm just worried like someone's just going to fly down Buffalo Road.
Yeah, there's
You know what
not
I mean?
visibility. There's not great visibility
Yeah.
when you're coming yeah, like
But-
the other way.
That is not going to happen. We're going to have a great event, June 10th and 11th. What else we got? Is there going to be a kissing booth? Is that what I read?
Yeah, John
could
Heath there
be.
is going to be
There could be one.
in the kissing booth. I'll
bring a dog and throw a dog up in the kissing booth.
I'm like,
People might actually like
You
not
never
like
know.
weirdly, but like
yeah,
Dude,
little snoot booth.
You've
you know.
seen my dogs?
Yeah,
Like
they're very cute.
They are cute.
kidding for sure.
just trying to keep it kind of consistent, like a flow, because this next question takes us a lot off topic, but it kind of ties into what else I have up
Is it-
here, so I like it.
Is it from Jim?
No, Mike. Yeah, anything Jim has. Any ideas what the rules are for carrying a taser pulse? Which is a cool segue to what I have on the table in front of me as well.
All right.
What taser pulse?
Yeah.
What specific one? Is
So
that one that shoots?
It does shoot.
Does it
Shoots
shoot
the
like
prongs, right?
Yeah.
Orbs?
You can buy them on Amazon. At least you used to be able to. Like they're the civilian grade taser. They're smaller. I know we can get them, and as far as I'm concerned, that judge said that tasers are legal to carry
So I think
in New York, at least.
there. So I'm like 85 to 90% confident in this answer. Yes, because another company that's local, not local, but like a Syracuse-based company, teaches a conducted energy device class for civilians. So there's actually a class that you can go to and learn how to properly use your conducted energy device.
That's pretty
And
cool.
it's the
Yeah.
only civilian class in the state of New York, as far as
I've never even heard of that. That's awesome.
Just a quick, again, we're not lawyers. We're certainly not your lawyer. This says in 2019, a federal court, which this is what I had recalled, was that a court struck down a law that we had that banned any kind of taser device, stun guns or taser, and the court left it open that the state could restrict. Maybe you can have one that just jabs somebody, not shoots somebody with.
Right.
But until they actually pass a law, which they haven't yet, they're legal. So
Doesn't say I can't eat cake, so I can eat
you're
cake.
I would, like we say in our classes, when you have very specific questions like that, you should consult an attorney.
100%.
You should never go with the guys at the shop told me I could do this. It's
Gonna go great for a jury.
Yeah.
But I
And-
would say yes for now. I mean, without consulting the lawyer.
It does seem legal. Like with anything in New York, though, I would be prepared for, no offense to them, but an officer of the law who doesn't know every particular nuance of the law and just defaults to it's illegal.
Correct.
Well, and unfortunately, I think in a lot of instances the police kind of default to, and this is not all, but some.
Sure,
kind
of course.
deal, and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe not even most, but I think there are a plurality of police officers and agents of the law who would see a device like that and they would automatically just make the assumption that it was restricted to law enforcement use because
Sure.
it's something they use as a function of their job.
Or I hate to say, if they pulled over one of our wives or girlfriends with it versus one of your sons. You know what I mean? That's just a.
if they pulled over
you know what I
one of
mean?
my-
That's like a profiling
yeah,
thing.
somebody-
That's just gonna, or any teenager, not your son specifically.
No,
obviously,
but I think
yeah.
I think it would, even for one of us. I think it would be totally different if it was one of us, because we're relatively young, healthy, right, able to
Yeah.
potentially. I don't know.
No, I'm with
you're
you.
Right. I think
and
there's-
it is weird, especially once you're someone that has a pistol permit. I have a license from the state to carry a firearm, which.
That pretty is a trump card.
That's the ultimate escalation of force,
There's
I guess.
nothing
And I'm okay. I'm licensed
can't do
by the
anything
state
less than that.
to have that, right? But yeah, there's nowhere in between that you're allowed to go. You're either
So you want me to kill
either have
somebody,
you either have to
or-
run or kill him. Yeah, those are your choices.
I'd rather
in New
not
York.
do
Right.
either.
I talk about that all the time in the New York State pre-permit courses that we're doing here all the time. It's because part of the course, that we do is based on USCCA curriculum, and in their slides they kind of go from you can retreat or you can de-escalate or you can escape or whatever, to displaying a firearm, and it's whoa, wasn't there's nothing
Nowhere in
we can
between
do
there, yeah.
in between
Crazy.
there. We're just gonna start immediately resorting to deadly force.
Crazy.
I'm not confirming or denying, but batons are personally one of my more favorite things to have on hand. I'm not. Not knowing how legal they are, I definitely don't carry one.
This is again a thing in New York. If you look up, it's either, I always get them confused, 265 or Article 4.
265,
It's either Article 265 or Article 400. They do not use the words collapsible baton.
Right.
I think, or baton either. They use the word club and bludgeon. And a bludgeon, if you look up the legal definition of a bludgeon, is the opposite of what these are, where it's like a baseball bat, where it's skinny, where you hold it, and then fatter on the end that you would hit somebody with. This is literally the opposite of that. You're holding the thicker end. This is a collapsible baton. That is what it is, and the law doesn't say that you can't, and we've had this discussion before, laws are not lists of things that you're allowed to do. They're things you can't do. So if the law doesn't say that I can't have a collapsible baton,
there's really no...
then, right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to have to argue it in court, but...
Right.
The cool thing about these guys, is it ASP or ASP? Like, what do they...
I think they would always go with ASP.
Okay.
Yeah.
The cool thing about these guys is typically with the batons, you have to bash them into the ground to close it. They have a plunger. That's simple. I love mine. I absolutely love mine. It's just nice. These are still considered lethal force. If you're ever going to use one of these, you should definitely study the chart and kind of learn how to use one, because if you hit somebody in the wrong location, they're dead.
Yeah.
Might as well just use a gun.
Were you telling me that Mike and them are developing a civilian course for these as well?
Yeah, they are.
Because
I
you telling me about that?
Try, I have not.
Because there is. It's something that they sell. You can go into a store and buy it, and it's got their name on it. And yeah, what does something like this go for?
They're not cheap. So the 40, the one that you have the 50
Is this the
in your
50?
hand.
Yeah.
That one's going for $199. This one is the 30. This one's going for $179, and the 40 is $189.
And there might be some sticker shock on those, because I was a teenager once who bought like the $20 Chinese one where you do have to like bash it into the ground, the friction lock style. And it's a $20 piece of junk made in China.
Yep.
Like, these are literally what, if you were a police officer and you were like issued one of these, it'd be either from ASP or there's like one other company. And it's like, it's not even really like a Ford or Chevy thing. It's like a Mercedes and like a Kia thing, where ASP is the Mercedes. They are the best of the best when it comes to these. This would last someone... I would hope an officer would never have to use one of these, but this is something where these are made to be used for an officer's career.
Right.
Like 5, 10, 15 years. So for sure, I would just say for like normal use, you will get your money's worth. And yeah, having that plunger on the end and having this clip on here, these are very nice. And in fact, I have this little one, the 30 myself. And I mean, you can carry this in a suit.
Yeah.
I mean, it carries like a flashlight. I mean, it's barely bigger than a nice, say, Surefire or Streamlight, like flashlight. So
I carry a 40.
Yeah, that's the best size.
And like, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Flip to this camera. Can you see my pocket? It's right here. It fits in perfectly, and then just good to go.
I do like it. Whenever you're dealing with, I would say, a threat, one of your advantages is distance, right? Like, you never, if someone's trying to do you harm, if there's a bum trying to get $5 from you, like, you don't want them here. Yeah. And this is just, again, even the short one, I mean, that's giving me another foot away from my hands, right? And it's a clear, this is not an offensive weapon. I mean, yeah, you could use this offensively, but this is just clearly like a defensive weapon.
Right.
This is saying, don't come closer to me, because I don't want that. Right.
I'm clearly not here to hit somebody with that, but I will hit somebody with it.
Right.
That's the kind of...
Yeah.
If you want to throw hands, I brought a metal one.
Right.
So let's find out, like,
I didn't come here to beat people
and
up,
I increased my wingspan, like,
And just the
substantially.
sounds, like...
Yeah.
That's psychological. It's like the same as a taser or the stun guns that pulse.
Like we just discussed, it gives you another option somewhere in between, like nothing, or let's say your bare hands and lethal, like, deadly force. So we sell these. We sold them for a while. They're kind of like I would almost say like a little sleeper item that we sell.
They're just so, I understand they're a lot of money, but they really are worth it.
They are well made, and it is a local company. 2 local companies, in fact. Us and ASP.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had one before the fire I carried, and I made sure to get one after.
They make a great. We didn't bring one out, but they make a great pepper spray too.
Oh, yeah.
And I love their pepper spray because the sprayer itself is also a weapon. It's like a Kubotan. You can use it as like a mace almost too. They give you 2 key rings on it, and you can like hold your keys, and you could whip that thing, and you could do some damage with that. Sure. And it's still a great pepper spray, and it's the only pepper spray that I know of that's rechargeable. So you keep the metal. It's got like a mag light, almost flashlight type of body, right? And you can buy them where they'll come with a practice one, which I think is super valuable. Training is everything, because it is surprising. It doesn't come out how you'd think it would.
Right.
So I really enjoy that they give you it's just water, I think, in there. It's just nothing. There's no active ingredient that'll cause you any discomfort. But you can give this to, say, a college student, right? Sure. You can give this to someone who maybe they work. I was just at a Chamber of Commerce event, and I was talking to my bankers at M&T, and they were saying how much like they would love to be able to carry at work, but corporate policy, you can't. But something like pepper spray, especially those, are very discreet. Goes right in your keychain. You'd never know. It's something.
You wouldn't even be carrying it. You just have your keys with you, and then
Yeah. So we have these. And like I said, they come. This is the refill kits, which it's $20 for a refill kit, which includes the tester. So you can practice with one, and then you have an armed one, and it's $35 for. This is called the Palm Defender, which is probably the one if you were going to use it as a keychain would be the best one. Yeah, right there. Which again, in the box they give you two of those split rings, and it's pretty nice. I like these. Designed and assembled in the USA.
So if you want to go back.
ASP is also one of those companies.
Canisters.
The owner is an absolute fanatic about everything about the company. So they make flashlights too.
This is the big one.
ASP makes flashlights, and when they were making their flashlights, they were frustrated with batteries. They use the same like CR123A battery that a lot of the bigger like Surefire flashlights use, or any of those like that style of flashlight. And the owner of the company was so like upset that he couldn't find good batteries. He just like started making his own. And like now they make batteries too, and it's just the owner is absolutely like it's all about the user, and their user is generally law enforcement or say a professional like end user.
Right.
So they just like nope, we're gonna make it as good as we can, and people are gonna pay for it. And they do. So
when we had Mike on the show, he made mention of their batteries. We got on the topic of their batteries, and he said that, like in testing, their batteries outperformed the Surefire,
all of them,
or the Energizer lithium ones. So apparently ASP, they make some high quality batteries as well.
Good stuff.
So
it's good stuff. Just to keep plugging it, we are giving away this shotgun tonight, so stay tuned. Are we ready for how people might want to win that? Could we go for that? What do they got to do?
Yeah. So
how many feet pics do they have to send?
Put those in my Dropbox. Shouldn't open it like that. You'll accidentally hit somebody.
Really?
It's down. Flick it down.
Come on.
You got to. If you bash me in the face with that, you'll kill them. Yeah. Like,
I've been hit in the face before. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. So if you want to win the gun, I'm not going to draw it right now, but our entries are just leave your name in the comments. Just comment your name and share it. If you share it, you'll get one entry. If you leave your name, you'll get a second entry. If you're going to share it, you have to make sure that you are sharing it publicly, so that way we can see the post. If you don't share it publicly, we will not be able to see that you've shared it. It'll just say that you've a number has shared it, but no name associated with it. So share it and leave your name.
It does it like that?
Yeah, because they have privacy settings on. So I knew it, dude. You got slapped. Holy shit.
So yeah,
you're gonna have to give them a few minutes to get through it. And comment your name. We made this really cool Excel sheet.
How many viewers do we have?
We're actually killing it. We're at 93 right now. Yeah.
Wow.
People want to win a gun. We're not going to draw it right now. You're going to have to suffer with us a little longer.
Just a little longer. Why don't we get some more questions?
Yeah, absolutely. Pat.
Yo.
Can you explain what a skirmish is?
Yeah. So a skirmish is a 1 day. It's a 1 day version. Well, okay. So there's two things. The skirmish used to be like a 1-day tactical games event, right? So it would be like 3 battles essentially done in 1 day. That would kind of help you to prepare or train for or assess your readiness for, I guess, a tactical games 2-day event. Now a skirmish they call them tactical games training days, and the tactical games training day is more geared towards 1 or 2 like mini stages, but we also do some skills work and some fitness stuff kind of before we do the mini stages, and those skills or the fitness elements just kind of give you a little bit of a taste or an idea of what you might see at some of the bigger tactical games events. So if you're somebody who likes to do like CrossFit type CrossFit's not really the best competition, but it's one of the nearest.
It's probably the closest analogy.
Yeah,
you're just going to be doing, you're not going to, I mean, you could be just doing standard like workout type stuff, but it'll be generally like non-conventional stuff just to make
like
it fun.
Pulling sleds would be an example of something.
Flipping
we
a
do.
tire maybe,
we do
or
sandbags. We do stuff with tires. We do stuff with sledgehammers or kettlebells or
Concrete ammo
dumbbells.
cans.
And it'll be wearing your full
stuff.
kit.
Yeah, you're usually wearing, you're usually wearing a plate carrier. You got a rifle on a sling, typically a handgun in a holster on a battle belt, and you're doing some like fitness stuff combined with some shooting.
It's
sometimes rifle only, sometimes pistol only, sometimes combination.
It's similar to if you watch like In Range TV, which he was like a buddy with Forgotten Weapons for a while, and they kind of just went like separate ways. They just do they're too busy with their own content, I think. But there's a guy called In Range TV, and they do something called 2-Gun Action Challenge.
Yep.
And it's kind of similar to that, but I would say more physical. It skews on the more physical side.
Right.
And I think they have divisions where maybe Tactical Games does too, where you don't have to wear the plate carrier and stuff.
Yeah, we have a light division.
Like light divisions are open where it doesn't matter. Yeah. So it is I would say, the most realistic might not be the best way to put it, but it does seem like, I don't want to say some of us have some fantasy in our head, but a lot of us have some notion of like, what you might, like worst case scenario, what do we have the Second Amendment for? Right? Like the undermining reason of why we have it, to prevent tyrannical government and things like that. So it's like, if you just follow that thread that some of us do, and again, I think we get a bad rap. We, like some of us in the gun industry, like we're all part of some militia, we're all part of some agenda, we're trying to train or whatever. And it's like, no, it's like with any hobby, you're going to get the best. If you're into computers, you're going to get the best stuff that the pros use. And we do the same thing. Like we're into firearms, we're going to use the best methodologies, the best, whatever. It's just, it's what makes sense, right? It's with any hobby, it's the way it goes. And yeah, the tactical game skirmish, I think, is the best way to just give yourself a shakedown, right? That can be both physically, I would say, like mentally too, just like being able to handle, like preparing for the match and the physicality of it and managing, like, okay, I have 30 rounds for this and 10 rounds for that and 20 rounds over here, and I got to engage this target first and that target, like there's a lot to it. So like if you can, I give mad props to every competitor. I know we bust like Dwayne Whitmer's, junk the most, but like I give him mad props. He shows up at those, he puts in the work, and he's doing them right, and like that's what counts. And I do love that Tactical Games. When they started it, it was a lot of people like Pat, and the top people are still people like Pat who maybe they were prior service or they're just extremely fit, and that is their jam. And they wanted to have like other, like tip of the spear, we'll say, people, like someone who could put kit on and run 5 miles and engage target. And that's what they wanted to do. And that is awesome. For every one Pat, I feel like there's 10 of us over here who like we want to do those things.
People who are like
but we know
aspirational, they're into it, but they don't know.
Doritos are so good.
They're so good, bro. And so I like that there's a blend. Like I want to get to that level.
Right.
I don't want to say I'm intimidated, but I feel like that is part of it. So it's cool they're moving towards don't want to say a more open. They were always open. Obviously, anybody could have always come to these events, but
one of the coolest things about tactical games,
it's more of a perception thing. I think that they're just trying to.
I think we all put self-limiting beliefs out there, right? In reality, so the tactical games community. One of my favorite things about the community is they're not like badge protectors, right? They're not people who are trying to keep you out. Who like don't want you to come into their cool little club and ruin it, right? They want you to come into their cool club so that you can help it grow, and so that we can have more events, and so that we can have more exposure to different ranges, right? Because there's probably other places that would love to host tactical games event,
sure,
but they haven't learned about them yet, or maybe the range and the tactical games haven't come together yet, but they will maybe. But there's a lot of camaraderie, I think, that goes into those events.
Absolutely, there was. When I went to the first one that I went to was the one, the Shooter's Gauntlet one.
Yeah,
which I think was your
maybe not your first one.
Was it your first one? Yeah.
And
the atmosphere, like we pulled in. I'm gonna have we pulled into that place, and just to see everybody. There's like this giant parking lot, and it was honestly, it felt a lot like when you go to the Sterling Renaissance Fair, which we try to go to every year.
Right.
And there's like you pull into this big parking lot, and it's almost like a concert, like party festival atmosphere. And there's like people with their cars, and so like there's a guy over there cooking hamburgers, and there's a guy over here. What a jerk! There's a guy over here, like loading mags to get ready for his next event. And there's a guy over here like giving some dude advice who, like, they're competitors, they're in the same division. He's like, hey man, like, if you did this, you'd be better off. Like, the community, the love was just incredible.
I had so much fun at the first one. Like, that was when I decided I was going to be an affiliate, like, that I wanted to do it.
Sure.
I wanted to, like, be part of it. I decided right from that first one, and we've done some here. We've done some at Escarpment Arms, and it's a lot of fun to put them together. It's a lot of fun to compete. It's a lot of fun to train, and yeah, I mean, if you're,
I think it gives you a good goal too, or it gives you a good
something to look forward to.
Yes.
Something to think about when it's cold outside. You don't want to get up and do what you're supposed to do, right? You have this event.
That's coming up. Or the event itself. Working. You're gonna have one in March. I bet the weather's gonna be not the best.
It's gonna be brutal. I hope.
Do we charge extra for that?
No, we do not charge extra for shitty weather. Lucky you guys.
I read something. There was like a study where, like having a vacation, like having something on the calendar 6 months out or 3 months out, whatever it is, but that time anticipating it actually does more for you than the vacation itself. For sure. But just having something to look forward to. And I think that's true, though, in any of these pursuits. If you come to the range, you got your permit, you're going to the range, you're shooting, you're doing your thing, there could be that, like, plateau of stagnation, where it's hard to grow, maybe organically, or just, what makes sense to you, or even just to come out here, like you said, just to come out here and do the work. Sometimes it can be monotonous if you want.
I think having somebody, like, to help, like somebody that you're kind of competing against, like you got to find a way to.
And I think the tactical games is one of the perfect ways.
For sure. Yeah.
It's the most, again, I guess the most realistic as far as nothing against any of the other disciplines, cowboy or USPSA or IDPA. My critique of those, I'll just pick on USPSA. It's very much, I would say, like, it's gamer. It's very gamery, where it's like I have to step off on this foot, and I have to engage 1, 2, 3. Like, every movement is planned and, like, choreographed to, like, you know what I mean? And, like, if that half a second split time where you didn't reload fast enough, you're fucked and you're done, right? That's just not me. I love the guys that love that, don't get me wrong, but that's just not me.
I always thought the same, you know what I mean? Like, before I did USPSA, I love tactical games. And I love USPSA too, because USPSA, like, you're right, you have to be so dialed in with your plan. But, like, even just the discipline that it takes to go up there and walk through the stage enough times to, like, really dial it, and, like, doing that over and over again, that's a skill on it. You know 100%. What I mean? Like, I never really recognized how much skill it takes to actually, like, plan,
and
then go and execute the plan. Like, it's a whole different skill on its own, and I really like it. But to your point, I think the tactical games for me gives me more what I'm looking for out of the shooting sports, and that is a legitimate test of my skill. Right?
Sure.
And so the thing about the legitimate test is that when I get to the firing line, I'm usually already smoked, right?
Sure.
There's already been some work that has occurred, or I'm going to be shooting from some kind of weird compromised position.
VTAC barrier, or
I remember
under a car or something.
Yeah, the one time that we started with an event that was like shooting first, it was like you run up to a car and you have to sit in the car and shoot from the driver's side back seat, and you're like, you have to have your gun rested on a specific
and like a rifle, sure, right? Yeah, which is hard.
And you're shooting targets up on a hill,
right?
And there's like a 125.
Your split time on your reload's not going to matter on that stage.
No. You're shooting targets that are out to 300, and it was pretty intense, but like.
The hardest part about doing one here in New York is our restrictions that we have, obviously. But,
getting people to travel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when you do a New York one, you're pretty much only going to get people from New York because it's so hard to get somebody from any other state. Like, we've done it in the past. We've had, like, friends of the shop that have come in from out of state. And it's been difficult, for them. Like, how are you going to compete with your normal setup? Like, it's very difficult.
I'll say, though, we have had some dedicated people that, like, my buddy John came down from New Hampshire. That was amazing. We've had some people come from Massachusetts. That was fun. We've had some people come from Pennsylvania. So we do attract some people from out of state. And, yeah, we're working on other workarounds, right? Like, we're trying to get some I was talking to the guys at Escarpment, and we're like, hey, what if we just kept some, like, lowers on hand that were like, so all you have to do is bring your upper receiver.
Yep, and that's not a part, or that's not a gun.
Right.
You can bring.
And even if, like, you're from out of state and you don't have a pistol permit, well, if you shoot a Glock, maybe you just bring your slide so that you have, like, your optic.
Yep.
And you bring your top half, and we give you like a lower to, you know what I mean? Like, there's
especially now in New York, if you're trying to get your pistol permit, you can shoot a handgun. So you just I'm trying to get my pistol permit.
There's probably a lot of ways that we can help people. But yeah, Ty, what other questions?
Are we giving away a gun or something? Why are so many people writing to us?
We're giving away a gun.
Oh, we're giving away a gun. That's pretty cool.
I think everybody's still tuned in. But
40 comments. 40 comments in.
Shares, likes.
Josiah's got 300 more to go through over there.
Only one share per entry, though.
Yeah, so one share.
Multiple times, we appreciate it, but
yeah, you got one share and you got your name on the comments once, and that gets you 2 entries.
Do we have more questions? I thought we saw.
Yeah, we got lots.
Seems like we have some.
The Bond Arms new lever action, is that New York legal? Yes, it is. I know that's been in production. I got to hold one in SHOT Show. That's been in production for a long time, so I don't know when it's going to be out just yet, but yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be New York legal. It's a lever action. There's no laws against mag-fed lever actions.
That was pretty neat. I was pretty excited about that.
Yeah,
I know a lot of other people were like, meh, but it's like, man, in New York.
The first time I heard of a 5.56 lever gun, it scared me because, the pointiness of a 5.56.
But if you're shooting with mag-fed.
But
if it's a mag-fed, you're totally fine.
Uses a PMag.
Brandon, is that raccoon on your head for sale? And how sweaty is that? How sweaty is
It's very sweaty. I've been sweating this whole time. It's gross.
Jesus.
Can I take this off now?
In this environment, it is going to be warm, but if you were like outside,
it's perfect.
You'd be like
so when I was single and had no one to help me make better decisions with my money, I would spend them on stupid stuff like this. I would go to Bontrager's auctions quite often, and this came up, and the bidding was very low. I think I paid like under $100 for this, and it was billed as like genuine fur. They didn't know what it was, but I saw it, and I was like, I had to have it. And it was in the middle of like when I bought all of the animals on display here, like that are at the shop. A lot of those I just bought at auction because like there's a cool, like the bear. That bear was at that was a Hesney auction. But I paid $50 for that, and it was like, what are they? If I hadn't bid on it, no, that was like the bottom bid. what were they going to do with it? Throw it away? And I just like, I need,
Somebody's
like,
bare
the walls
mouth
were
is gonna
completely empty here. So I was like, all right, let's get it. So anyways, I bought this at a Bontrager auction, probably back in 2014, maybe 15. And then probably a couple years later, in like, say, 2016, we hosted a Hunter's Ed course here. Sure. And this old timer comes in, this guy probably in his high 70s, maybe early 80s. He's walking by, and, you know, I'll put this on sometimes just to get a laugh out of people because it's a silly hat.
Right.
And I was wearing it that day, and he walks by, and he goes, oh, hey, hello. And he does a double take, and he looks at me, and he goes, did you just buy that recently at the Bontrager auction? And I go, yeah, how did you know that? And he goes, I consigned that. Like, that was my hat that I sold to them. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, what is it?
What's the story of the hat?
This is Mongolian fox that he had, like, commissioned in Mongolia in, like, the 50s or 60s, I want to say. His parents were, like, Christian ministries, right? Or
ministers?
What's the word?
Yeah,
missionaries. Missionaries. Not something I'm familiar with, obviously.
Yeah,
they were Christian missionaries,
More of an Amazon.
like, stationed out in Mongolia. And yeah, he had, like, a crusty old 100-year-old Mongolian dude, like, make him this when he was out there.
No
so
kidding.
and then
So
you know
cool.
what are you gonna do with it? It's in your closet for a million years. And so yeah, so I just thought that was a neat. Like, I know where this came from now. Like, kind of cool. But no, it is not for sale. This will go to my grave.
$3,000.
Okay, come by. It's decor in the live stream studio. It usually hangs up
Oh,
over.
speaking of decor in the live stream studio, somebody
Yeah.
alluded to this.
Yeah.
They asked how many Arizona cans are the batons worth.
I saw that.
I had to put one up there. And look, for all you deniers,
99
The
cents.
only
Still.
price that matters.
Inflation proof. Like,
The only price that matters. That's all we recognize in our hearts.
That's very funny. Very funny.
What's our take on the burden on lethal weapons? I brought ours out.
I mean, I find it hard. God damn it. So, like this, if you can't carry a gun, there's no way you can carry this, right? I would think.
It's not a gun.
It's not a gun, but it reads as a gun. So,
I mean,
like,
if you pulled that on me, I would 100% draw on you and pull the trigger. No ifs, ands, or buts. I would shoot you.
like,
really
I
wanna
can't
like
see, like, okay, college campus, you can't have a gun. You can't have this.
Yeah.
There's no way this.
There's
would be
no way that
okay.
would be okay on a college
So
campus.
I just don't.
But it just looks so much like a gun. Like,
It's not for me.
you would don't. If you're gonna use that, expect a fight, like, for your
Like,
life.
okay,
that's what I'm thinking too. Is like realistically, and you've
make red
you've had
ones.
pepper spray in your eyes and stuff
Twice.
Like, it's really not that serious, man. And like,
It sucks for a minute, but if I was really tough and wanted to power through and do whatever I wanted, I could probably swing it.
so there's that, and then there's also the fact that like you said, B, like it reads as a gun, and if I have one of like the orange balls in there and I shoot somebody and like it hits them and knocks them unconscious and they fall down and split their head open, like I've still killed a person.
the
At
only
that
I'm really trying to think of a positive here. The only rational reason that the only time I would recommend these if there was a concern of self-harm. And I know that's sometimes a touchy subject. I know for some reason that's the reason they don't have firearms or maybe like easy access to firearms.
No, that makes sense.
So that's the only thing I can think of. Or if you are just someone who is totally paranoid, like they can't sleep at night thinking their kid might get access to their firearm for whatever reason.
Right.
But I still, like, if you're talking purely from like a self-defense standpoint, no. Maybe for training. I didn't think of that. It's just for self-defense and training.
Doesn't really make that good of an analog for other things that are out there as far as guns, though.
I guess I was thinking more of like if you were gonna do a
It's like some sort of force on force.
force
type
on
of-
force, yeah,
Okay.
like or like you know if we're gonna do some grappling or whatever, we
Yeah.
can rock this, and it's like okay, like I'm
These
gonna
are,
wrestle
like-
you until you can draw on me.
I think I'd rather get hit with
like-
a sim.
Probably. Oh,
These
I
are
agree.
hard. Like,
Yeah,
these are
yeah.
not gentle
I
platforms.
guess force on force would be the you know, but
I can see, as an LEO perspective, there's a crowd of people, dust 6 or 7 pepper balls to the ground or
Yeah.
at one person.
They're gonna buy a sweet ass one compared to
Yeah,
that thing, though.
but that's what, they have pepper balls.
They're gonna buy that like FN. What is it like the?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm just not totally sold. I'm not saying that there's no application.
It's better than nothing, I guess.
I definitely don't want to get
Like if you're like if you're
I guess, but-
same thing. Like if you're a mailman, could you carry this?
What about a felon?
Okay, that was my other question. I don't know if a felon is
Felons
allowed,
can't protect themselves.
and that's bullshit.
I also agree with that. I think if you have like a
A
nonviolent
nonviolent felony.
I think you should always get a nonviolent felony override.
I think if you're out of prison,
You served your time.
yeah.
Well, again, there's degrees. If you've killed somebody, or okay, we're not going to
you
get
should
into
still be in
this debate right
prison.
now. Yeah, right. You shouldn't be out.
If you're
like-
walking freely in the streets,
No, I guess if you're
you should
safe,
be allowed.
right, a free
Right,
man,
if you're either safe or you're not. Right.
no, because
I-
they do say like a free man shouldn't be disbarred the use of arms, right? Like that was.
I have been trying to do some research, and I've been trying to find a way to fund like an investigative journalist to do some research because I have a lot of things that I'd like to investigate as far as like New York State and corruption and things like that. But one of the things that I've just often wondered, and I've had a hard time finding information on, is when did felons lose their right to own firearms? And I'm willing to bet that it's racially motivated. You know, with like the Gun Control Act of 1968, the reason you have to buy guns from a dealer to begin with is racial tensions in the 60s. That, you know, it's Black History Month. Black people were arming themselves to defend themselves against like lynch mobs and stuff like that. And the government, the people in control at the time, did not like that. So I have always wondered, and like I said, it's hard to find research on like when did that happen. You know, because there's a long history going back, you know, even to like English common law of like prisoners losing their rights and things like that. But here in America specifically, I was wondering, like,
This is a viewpoint
when-
that I have changed within the last year to two. Felons in gun ownership, because today it's so easy to become a felon. Like,
you can't vote to change it either.
yeah, you can.
You
Yeah.
know, like-
So I don't know. Non-violent felonies.
You are like a non-human.
Yeah.
almost.
This
You
is a.
can't-
This is an interesting conversation.
It is a very.
We're very libertarian guys, though, too. So
Yeah.
you're, you know, take.
I always
that
try
for
to
what it's
err on the
worth.
side of freedom for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just. what I
But
wanna
great
do.
question. Thanks for asking that. It sparked
I
some good conversation.
before I opened this, just a little quick story. Before I opened this business, I sold life insurance, regrettably, for like 6 months. And one of the sales calls I made was in the city. It wasn't on Avenue D, but it was like within, say, a mile
Funky.
of that. You know, yeah, it was like, you know, Avenue B probably or whatever. So I go to this guy's house,
30 feet.
and you know, he was like in some type of union, because that's like how our insurance company got in with you. Like we'd send a letter to all the union guys, and we'd go in and talk to him. So he was in like the plumbing union or electricians union or whatever, and went to talk with him, and he had this little tiny apartment. Like, no joke, his apartment was like the size of our like studio. We're like sitting at his kitchen table that's set for two, and like my back is at his refrigerator, and like he's blocking the door, and like it's tiny, right? So we're like right here, and I'm going through, and I got my little list, and I'm like, okay, so like if you qualify for insurance, we'll go through with it, but like let's just see if you qualify. So it's like, okay, have you ever had a heart attack? You ever had this? Do you smoke? Do you do whatever? And it was like, have you ever been convicted of a felony? And he goes, huh, yeah. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like 22, maybe. I might have just still been 21.
Right.
I'd had my pistol permit. I was carrying at the time too, because I'm like going to people's houses and stuff.
Sure.
But we're like sitting right here looking at each other, and he goes, yeah. And I said, have you ever been convicted of a crime? And he laughed, and he says, yeah. And I says, oh, well, what is it? Because our company, we just don't insure felons. So as long as it's not a felony, no big deal. And he goes, I just got out of Attica. I did 15 for murdering someone. And I'm just like, you know, it was one of those like, oh, and you know, it's like he's like a 40-something-year-old black guy.
No,
It's just like me, you know, it just couldn't have been more like different strokes for different folks. Like, what the hell's going on here? And yeah, just in that moment, and like nothing against that guy, obviously personally, but just like in that moment, I'd never felt like the weight of my handgun.
You just
like
feel
so
like,
heavy.
yeah.
And it was just like, all right. And yeah, it was an awkward, like, all right, well, you know, sorry, bro. Like, our company doesn't
Can't really
insure
help you
felons.
with
Yeah,
that,
like,
yeah.
good luck with everything. He seemed to be like getting his life turned around. Like, we had a good talk. Like, you know, we had a good time. I should check up on him. But
So speaking of murderers, right?
Yeah.
Like, you guys want to hear a funny anecdote?
sure.
So when I was a younger person, my family, my parents got divorced when I was like whatever 8 or 9 or something like that, and so my family, we needed more money, right? My mom and stuff. So she was like gonna rent a room out. So she puts an ad in the classifieds or whatever people did at that time, and she had like multiple people come and like talk to her about like, hey, we're gonna move into this room over here for rent and whatever. And so we had a guy come and he like wanted to rent a room, and he was kind of like weird or whatever.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna rent a room to this guy.
Yeah.
And then we were watching that show America's Most Wanted.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
He was on there?
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Same, and he used
John
his
Wayne Gacy.
He used his real name though. It
Jesus,
was the messed up.
yeah.
He like used his actual name to like come and like try to.
Damn.
So yeah, we almost had a dude come try to live in my house that was like on America's Most Wanted
crazy.
for some crazy shit.
Well, do you remember what he was wanted for? Like, obviously,
I was like 9.
If you're on that
or
show,
whatever,
it's not.
He wasn't.
He had nothing.
It's not bank fraud. Yeah. Jesus.
I mean, at least he was honest.
Yeah.
He used his real name. It was weird.
Listen, little Pat, you can work at the salt mine, or John Wayne Gacy gets a room.
it.
Take your pick.
Do you want
I'll
to live
move
with?
his clown stuff in.
Want to go mine cobalt or sleep with John Wayne?
Jesus
Dang.
Christ.
Let's get somebody else involved in this real quick.
So if the Bruin decision is ever like gone through with, will
Right.
that impact other restrictions like magazine size and suppressors?
Suppressors I don't know, because I don't know if they would repeal the NFA as like part of that.
Yeah.
But I mean, magazine
fighting.
size I would think would be like part of that, because standard, like everything would kind of revert back to like standard, right? And standard mag size is 30 rounds.
Suppressors, I have been meaning, it's one of those things, we have a million projects always on the burner here. I've been meaning to, we're members of the American Suppressor Association, for what it's worth.
Okay.
And there's like 46 or 47 states where suppressors are legal.
Right.
And we're one of the last ones. And that, if you look at a graph or like a map of like over the last 20 years, it went from like 20 states to like most of them. And we're only one of the last few holdouts. Maine, actually, which is a very free state for the Second Amendment, but Maine was one of those states where it just wasn't legal. It wasn't legal ever since the NFA was passed, or whenever, for a long, long time, it was just never legal.
just really resistant
and there was
to
it took them 10 years, but there was a 10-year campaign, and it was a group of hunters, essentially, that led the fight in Maine, that you could own them for hunting purposes.
Right.
Which obviously means you can go to the range with them and practice with them, do whatever you want with them, but you have to kind of fib and say, yep, I'm buying it to hunt with, right? And that's the goal. That's the reason I want it. But yeah, they were able to do it, and I see no reason in New York we couldn't come up with a similar strategy of working with the DEC, working to remove that restriction. They are not some type of assassin's tool that needs to be regulated like that. They're already regulated by the federal government. They should have never been regulated in the first place, but there they are. And
I think people
Thanks, NRA.
I think people that don't understand how suppressors actually work should like have to get educated. Like, if you're gonna be like a legislator and you're gonna vote on things like that, I think that there should be a certain amount of like knowledge base that you have to.
100%.
You know
Same
what I
with
mean?
tech
Because
stuff,
you can't,
yeah.
like, it's not silent, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you've ever shot a gun,
Just the name
suppressed-
silencer is very misleading.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
It is.
But that is actually like the real.
what the inventor called it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
silencer was actually. So
Hiram
when people
Maxim.
call them suppressors, they're actually using a
I like that the inventor of the suppressor, his first name is Hiram. Hiram. That's a good little. That just came to me. Is someone gonna win this gun? Is that actually
Yeah, how
gonna
many
happen?
more?
Someone's gonna win the gun.
Yeah,
Are they gonna do it?
at some point.
We're gonna
when
do
you-
it?
When do you want to do it?
I don't know. I'm down to do it all the time. You know me, dog.
Try,
We're giving away some other stuff.
Are we?
Oh yeah, we're giving away like shirts.
Not my hat.
Well, no, not that.
Okay.
no, not
You're
that.
not getting the hat. Now I'm cold.
I definitely want to do some giveaways on shirts. So we have these guys.
I'll
We're
be right back, guys.
yeah, please.
Give away a shirt.
Catching
We need
deer.
to put a urinal like right over here.
Right over
That'd be
there.
nice.
I've already selected a few people to win some shirts.
I thought you were going to say you've already selected a corner to put the urinal.
This is the urinal corner.
I mean, we could put
Is that even legal?
It could be
Can
just
you?
down here. Like,
Can you
they
do
wouldn't
that?
know. I mean,
Can you just pee?
we
on
own
live
this
stream?
land. We can do whatever we want.
On camera though?
I don't know about that. Is it on camera though? Look, they can't tell.
No kids can
I
watch.
could be doing it right now. You don't know. You ever watch a NASA live stream of them doing like a spacewalk? Dude's peeing the whole time. He's in his diaper. He's taking a poop. You don't know. You don't know what they're doing up there.
So some of the people that won some shirts so far, Mark Hanneman, you always watch, you always comment, so I'd love to give you a shirt. Jonathan Hamilton and Brian Odachowski. Sorry if I butchered any of your names. I have you guys as shirt winners.
Nice.
There's a whole catching deer section in our shop that's all 35% off right now. But you guys can just come in and take one anytime. Let us know. And I'll probably give out one more if I like your comments or whatever
yeah.
enough. That's kind of just me biasly giving people a shirt. So
I like it.
the gun's coming up.
About me. What do we got for
Nailed the name.
questions?
Was that sarcastic? Did I really say that? Say that okay? I recognize you. I see you come in regularly too. So
Friends.
questions. Sorry. Yes, we'll accept you if you crochet at Freedom Weekend. If that's your thing. If you have little
Yeah.
crafts, please. We
cool.
want this to be for everybody: wives, husbands, kids. Pat's not here. We'll save that question.
Sure.
Is the range going to be open during Freedom Weekend?
Yes, it will be. We are going to be having some machine gun rentals happening during Freedom Weekend, so it might be a little loud.
I don't think we
Might be
should have people shoot, though. Would you? Let's talk this up.
like normal range time. You
Yeah,
mean?
because if we have machine guns, there's a lot to worry about already.
I just hate turning people away that normally just come down. Like, yeah, it's Freedom Weekend for us, but like it's a normal Saturday for Ted. Like, for those
Okay.
guys, it's just like a normal day. So, yes, the range will be open, but it's going to be a zoo here.
Be obnoxious.
So, yeah. And we might clarify that because I didn't think of doing the machine gun shoot down range like we normally
Yeah.
do. So, I don't know.
To be determined.
TBD.
We'll let you
Yeah.
know. Thanks
What
for
if
that
we
question, because we haven't thought about that really.
Had machine gun shooting happening at various intervals.
That'd be cool too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Usually, too, it's like when people come to shoot on a Saturday like that, they're going to come shoot in the morning because it's like their normal,
Yeah,
they're like a
it's their
regular,
routine.
you know what I mean?
they have
Yeah.
other stuff to do throughout the
We'll
day.
figure it out.
How is the penis blanket serving me? It's going great. The fiance loves it. I'm gonna bring that in here to show that on stream. Do you remember that?
I do. I was like, what are you talking about?
The dick blanket,
Yes,
bro.
I do remember that.
Dicks
now.
all over it.
That's not, I think, what was written, was it?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I read something very different. Make them bigger. Why are the words so small?
Because you're old.
My glass.
What's your all-time favorite pistol, Pat?
My all-time favorite pistol probably got to be a Sig P226, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not see that one coming.
Why?
I don't know. Just
Did somebody actually ask
Oh, just
that-
all-time favorite pistol.
of all of us?
For all of
or
us, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Sig P226. That was one of the first guns when I looked at it. I was like I just like the lines of it. I just
Sure.
like the way it
Yeah,
looks. I think it was right in around the time when I got really excited about guns, when like guns were really starting to become
Yeah.
like my jam. And so I remember that was when everybody's talking about Wonder Nines. That was like
Sure.
that was like the
Sure.
terminology that people were using was like the Wonder Nines, and it was like the Ruger P85, and it was like the Beretta 92, and it was like the Sig P26, and CZ obviously had their 75, and there was a handful of like double action, metal framed, hammer fired, double stack fucking pistols that were all like pretty cool. And yeah, the Sig P226, I just remember like looking at it and I was like, yeah, man, that's like a legit,
That's a good gun.
That's
Yeah,
that's a cool handgun. And the first time I ever got to shoot one, I was like, man, that thing is just, I mean, it's just
I remember
gun.
kind of along the same lines, like when I first got my permit, or maybe like just before I got my permit, the Navy, was it the SEALs, had like the Mark 25 or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was like, yeah, that, it's like shit, if the SEALs use it, like as good as a Glock is, which I think that would be my answer, like a Glock 19 or a Glock 17 or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like when I was in my like formational era of being a new pistol owner.
Right.
Yeah, like I would say that. Yeah, like the 226 was up there for sure.
Dude, when I went to SIG Academy, and here's another thing that this just kind of solidified it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I went to SIG Academy for maybe it was Master Pistol, so it was like just a couple years, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And there were two guys there from a police agency, like Rhode Island State Troopers or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were shooting like the SIG P26, like the Mark 25s.
Nice.
And they were really good pistol shooters
Yeah.
too. But I mean, those handguns, man, they were just so accurate for those
That definitely
guys.
helps. Yeah. What about you, Ty? Hollow Sun?
I like. Oh, we're talking about optics or pistols. I'm like, what? Anything with a pistol brace.
Yeah.
That was a dig at the AFT.
What? What?
I love me some pistol braces. No, I gotta say I love the MPX.
Mr. 920?
I know it's not really like your traditional
Sure.
handgun.
I mean,
Sure.
technically, it is a pistol.
It is a
though.
pistol.
It is a pistol. Carry it.
The MPX is just so fun. It's just I love the size. I love how packable it is.
It is a rad gun for sure.
Yeah, but if I had to, I carry every day a Shadow Systems MR920L, so I would say
that's
that's like
also a
my
rad
first
gun.
traditional.
High point. Jordan knows what's up. High
I
point.
mean, they work, bro.
Except when they don't.
Except for when they don't. That's like every gun though, right?
Is it?
Yeah, I mean every gun has a malfunction. At least you can induce one.
Oh,
I don't know if this is
sure
a joke.
can, buddy.
You sure can. I don't know if this is a joke. I just might. I don't know. Somebody asks, "I'm left-handed. Can you guys help me look for an over/under shotgun?"
so
Kind of like
yeah, I would. They are somewhat ambidextrous, although the
I think the
canting
cast of the stock
yeah,
is.
Yep. That
Okay.
does matter. I will say though that I don't think I don't think that they make a left-handed one. I think when you get to that level, you have to have one like a bespoke one. Like I think that's what you'd have to get at if you want a left-handed one. It's going to be made for you. So I've never seen one. I'm really trying to think. Even like a Browning Satori or like the highest end Beretta Silver Pigeon. I could be wrong, and I'll admit it if I am, but I've never seen like one offered where that says left-handed, versus right-handed, obviously, or normal. I would say that they are generally ambidextrous until, if you're out there busting 100 out of 100 clays, like consistently, but then every now and then you get like 99 out of 100, and that's the reason why, then we can talk and we'll get you, squared away with the stock. That might be something that Turnbull could maybe do. I don't know. That's not something that I would think they're like known for. I just know that they are stock makers and can, if a normal stock is canted 5 degrees this way, we'll do it 5 degrees the other way. I think that would maybe be something they could do.
Why
But
wouldn't they?
yeah,
Yeah, that's really interesting. Actually, when I was studying, for my firearms technology degree. I was learning about cast on and cast off and toe in and toe out.
it gets intricate. Yeah,
The stock, the shotgun stock making, if you get into custom shotgun stocks, they get way in the weed. Like length of pull is measured really precisely for the top stock
and it's
makers and stuff.
It's kind of like getting a fitted suit. Like
Yeah.
you can get that done, and it's kind of worth it to you. But I can't show you my fitted shotgun because it's not going to be fitted for you. It's going to suck for you, and you're like, "What the hell is this?"
If
Yeah,
we're those kind of guys that are shooting like custom made shotgun or shotguns with custom made stocks, I don't want to touch your gun because
right,
it's not going to.
right, yeah.
not gonna work.
Someday, maybe that'd be cool. I'd always wanted to go to that school. So.
Okay. So
Is it live? Can we tell
No.
them about that? Oh, okay.
this is just like I just got mock-ups.
that was cool as fuck.
I just got mock-ups for a new website.
That was cool
We're
as
getting a
fuck.
new website.
Is our website down right now? Is that
It
why?
is.
Yeah.
I didn't check my.
okay.
I just happened to click on my emails. It's
cool.
We got a new
Go
website.
live with that right now.
I can't show you guys, but I just pulled it up and wow,
It's pretty fucking cool. That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part. So inclusive.
Hold on, there's one more. Hold on. Sorry, I know you guys can't see it. This is very anticlimactic for you guys.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you're just over here teasing them.
I don't
Can't
get
tell
the
difference.
I guess that's a little different. Okay, we'll look at these later, but I love them so far.
That's really cool. Evolution marketing.
Evolution marketing, yes.
You want to take your business to the next level?
Is that a trick? Of
Are we
course
open
it
on
is.
Sundays now?
Yeah, that was the question. So you want to talk about that?
Yes. So we always used to be open 7 days a week,
Yep.
and then the pandemic hit. That was what did it, right? That's when we started. When we reopened,
Sundays,
I think
yeah.
we just never reopened for that day of the week, and it was nice. People liked having that day off. But it is time. I think the demand is there. A lot of people have been asking for it, so we are opening back up on Sundays. To start with, it is from noon until 7, right? And we're going to start on the 19th. So this coming Sunday is, I think, the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Some big sports thing. I don't know. Not really,
Sports ball.
Not really a sports guy. But so we were like, let's not do it. This coming Sunday, we'll do it the next. So yeah, starting the 19th from noon to 7, you can come on down, and it will be one of those things where the range, we might adjust those hours, right? As far as there might be a class. Pat might have a class one weekend.
Specifically on the 19th, we are going to have some ladies in there shooting some handguns from
Yeah.
noon to 6. So just so everybody knows. But speaking of, retail store will be open. Come on down and shop for your handguns. If you want to come and take a ladies only pistol class, you can do that too. Or if you want to bring your husband and kick him out into the retail
There you go.
area where you
Hang
take
out
the
with me.
ladies
Yeah.
only
Yep.
pistol class, then we can get 2 for 1.
That'll be awesome.
Right.
That'll be awesome. But yeah, so we will be opening back up on Sundays. Not this Sunday, but next.
Ready?
I'm getting paid to watch you tonight.
Whoa, what?
What? I'm getting paid to be watched by you. What? Get out of here.
Does that make me an Ethos?
Am I an Eva? God damn it.
I mean,
Oh my
we
god.
are like
we are
cam
getting pretty
people.
late. Are we ready to give this shotgun away?
We have a couple more things I just want to bring up quickly, but
do
Ready
it.
to go to
All right.
sleep.
Yeah. Seriously.
yeah, it's getting late. You guys are killing it. I
Ready
love
to
this.
go to
I love the
bed.
The
content.
energy tonight has been so good.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Herb, Neil,
Yeah. Hey, Herb.
your ears must have been ringing because we were literally just talking about you
We
earlier
were.
this week.
We were.
We were like just talking about Freedom Weekend, and we were like, remember how great Herb was at just getting donations and
Literally.
sponsorships?
Yeah. Herb, let's talk.
Yeah, we need your charisma for that. He says he hopes the family's doing great. And it's
Aw.
good to see us. Thanks,
great to
buddy.
see you.
We miss you.
Yeah.
I also miss Venture Crew. That was a great time of my life.
Those were the days, man. I wish you knew you were in the good old days. Like when you were in them.
I do it, yeah, for sure, man. For sure.
Patricia says she took our pistol permit class, and you were an amazing instructor.
Thank you,
So
Patricia. I appreciate
that was a great
very
comment.
much.
I appreciate that.
Patricia Kimball? Pat Kimball?
I did have to run out there and
Wait a minute. Yeah, wait a minute.
busted.
I forgot to copy the name. I think it was either Butland or Brumstead asked if they can shoot the windows out of my car again for Freedom Weekend, and the answer is no.
That was fun, though.
That was very fun.
That was neat.
Dude, Freedom Weekend is so amazing. I'm so excited.
You want to shoot a car? Why not? Let's do it.
This comment got Zachariah
Banned from
Conlin
Facebook for
banned from Facebook. A T-shirt. I love this. He said he bought his first AR-15 Ona, Arizona, can from us and sparked an expensive hobby. And he loves our cast. Thanks, man. I love hearing people. We bring people into the hobby. That's one of the big reasons we do it.
For sure, man.
What the hell
Yeah.
is this question?
Yeah, and then this is a question that
saved
I'm just dying to know the answer to. What do you get if you mix an elephant and a rhino? Let us know what you think in the comments. I saw a couple of you did. And Charlie, please answer this question. What do you get if you mix an elephant and a rhino?
I don't know.
Brandon, you can't look it up.
No, sorry. I'm trying to look up something else. I feel like that's like the punchline to a joke that we don't get.
Yeah, that seems like it's got to be.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Not that clever. I wish I was.
My buddy Doug, the welder,
Yeah.
friend of the store.
Love Doug.
I went over to his place one day, and I had a truck, and I wanted him to like weld some bits onto it, and he was like pointing at the truck, and he was like, this is your Polak thing or whatever. And I can't remember the word, but he's like, this is your Polish thing, and I was like, your Polish thing, what? And he's like, no, that's what it's called. It was just like, that's just the name of it. And I was what's the joke? I don't get it. Like, hell if I know.
There isn't a joke.
I'm right with you there. James.
I think that's the joke.
The answer is hell if I know.
Okay. All right.
I don't get it.
All right.
Hell.
Morgan and James Skaggs are on.
Think about it.
Some TFP legacy.
Hell if I know. It's an.
Hell if I know. Oh, thank you.
You know what? No.
Doug the welder, is that Bob the builder's brother? Oh man.
There's a lot of personalities here that are known in similar ways to that. Like we have a glass-eyed Ken. Like we call a customer that we love. He comes down here, love him, and he has a glass eye.
Right.
He's glass-eyed Ken. And like that's just how it is. We have Doug the welder. I have Jeff the accountant. You know, I got a lot of guys that are just Tyler's over here dying. Do you need a minute there, buddy? Did I trigger something?
Let's give away a gun.
Do you miss him? Was that too much?
Give away a gun.
Was that too much?
Let's give away a gun. So we've made this
Got him.
We've made this elaborate little Excel spreadsheet. Josiah, if you want to pop that up. Just wait. So we can see what they're seeing.
Oh, okay.
Do you like when we
Is this fun?
talk really?
Is this good for you?
Really close to.
Is this nice for you?
Really close to the mic. It's good for me. There we go. All right. So we have this elaborate little.
That's not the real one. We have to run it yet.
Yeah, we haven't even ran it yet. So let's get to it. You know the button. Just hold the button down. We'll hold it for 5 seconds, I guess. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We have John Schleyer. Schleyer.
Nice.
Perfect.
He just won a gun. So
See if I
can we tag him in it?
There it is.
I'm gonna wait for him to comment to us.
Cool.
And if he's not here, he wins a shirt. He doesn't win a gun.
Oh, okay. He's got to be here too.
Yeah.
That's a little tricky. That's a little tricky trickster.
So
This actually is a pretty cool gun.
if you're here, John, I'm gonna give him another 10 seconds.
Wait, was that
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
Was that stated in the beginning that you have to be here to? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay, he wins a shirt. I'll put him down for that.
I'm here.
All right, we're gonna go to it again.
James, that's not how you spelled mine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
No, there he is.
Who won in here? He did.
He came in
Yeah,
at the end. Good.
That counts.
I'll give it to him.
All right.
Nick of time.
Who? Okay.
I identify as. I can't tell you don't. So, congrats, John. We will put this on the back with your name. If you could just send the firing pin a quick Facebook message with your phone number, so we can, get that in the morning. Just say that you won the gun, and we'll take care of it. And everybody else that won, like a shirt or whatever, just hit us up on Facebook Messenger, so we know who to get it to.
Nice. This was fun.
This was a good stream.
This was fun.
Good show.
We can't give away a gun every stream, but you're not going to know unless you watch, because we're kind of random like that.
Yeah,
We are definitely a bunch of random dudes.
We're very
for sure.
random.
So if this is your first stream, I appreciate you for checking us out. Please come back. We're here every Thursday. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I love you guys.
Tell
Thank
what,
you so
what
much.
should they be doing? Liking.
Oh yeah,
sharing,
of course.
right?
We've got a
Invite
lot of
your
shares.
friends,
Yeah, let your friends know about
comment.
this.
So many
all that
comments.
Good stuff.
Yeah, thank you guys for an awesome stream.
Yeah, thanks for all the
I
engagement,
love all of
guys.
you.
Great show.
And
Check us out on Spotify. Love you.
bye.
Bye.